Hello, everyone. Welcome to Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I am your host, Pete Costanis, and this is episode 33, season 2. And today we'll be talking about a couple things. I'm going to talk about the store directories for Marshall Fields and Wieboldt's department stores. They were located on State Street in the Chicago Loop. And I will talk about a restaurant that was near my old neighborhood. It was called Mr. G's Steakhouse. I'll talk briefly about that. For right now, here's a commercial for Pepsi Light soft drink that is from 1976. So here we go.
Until now, you had to choose between good taste and low calories. Until now.
The time is right for Pepsi Light, lemony Pepsi Light. We put a little lemony taste in and took out half the calories.
Refreshing Pepsi Light, the cola with a lemony taste in and half the calories of regular cola's out.
We put a little lemony taste in and took out half the calories.
This episode is brought to you by Hill's Pet Nutrition. Every shelter pet deserves a second chance, and you're making it possible for thousands of them every day. Because when you feed your pet Hills, you help feed a shelter pet, which helps make them healthy, happy, and more adoptable, changing their life forever. So they can change yours. Over 15 million shelter pets fed and adopted. Science did that. Visit hillspet.com/podcast to learn more.
Okay, I am back. I'm glad you enjoyed the commercial. I remember Pepsi Light when I was growing up. That came out about, I think, 75, 76. I was about 12 and 13 at the time. I remember my mother buying it at Jewel. And a lot of people didn't care for it because back then diet soda still tastes strange, but this was something different. But I liked it, and it didn't last very long, probably until the early 80s, but I think it made a comeback. I'm not exactly when. And then later on, I think the 90s or in the 2000s, they started doing other flavored colas. And the one I remember is Coca-Cola had vanilla flavored, which I like very much. I think it's still around. So, and then they had the orange and lemon and cherry. Well, cherry, that's Dr. Pepper, and which I like very much. Okay. Before I get started, I want to mention one thing. Uh, right now, my podcast episodes are on YouTube. I uploaded them yesterday. It took a half a day, but it was worth the task. And you can find them on my YouTube account, Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. And all 32 episodes are there. So also this episode 33, will be included. So if you happen to be on YouTube, you can make a search, do a search, excuse me, and then you can find them and you can listen on your phone, on your tablet, on your desktop, anywhere you can access YouTube. Okay. Today I will be talking about store directories from Marshall Fields and Wieboldt's department stores. And there's an interesting website called the Department Store Museum, and I've seen it before, but I figured I can read the directories, like what was there on excuse me, what was there on each floor of the department stores, Marshall Fields and Wieboldt. I won't read everything, but I would just read for example, first floor has clothes, second floor has cosmetics, third has toys. So I'm going to get started, and first I will start with Marshall Fields. Okay, now Marshall Fields, of course, was located on State Street. Macy's is there now, but I've heard a lot of people to this day, they still are angry. They want Marshall Fields back. They don't like Macy's. I'm not crazy about it myself, but maybe some way, somehow, somebody would bring it back, and I think everyone will be very content about it. It will be exciting, because it was one of the most wonderful stores in Chicago. Very elegant, beautiful, and customer service was the utmost perfect. So hopefully, keep our fingers crossed. We can always hope. Okay, now here we go. We're going to start with the directory for Marshall Fields, and here is the budget floor, which I assume it's the basement. Someone could correct me on that. And they have they have a lot of things. So budget floor, they have women's shoes, casual shoes, daytime dresses, sportswear, and that was at North by North State Street. If you go in the middle of the store, they had belts, cosmetics, toiletries, costume jewelry, hosiery, handbags, millinery, which means I forgot what that means, millinery. So I could look that up. What meantime, there's called notions, and notions are like accessories to sewing. You know that that kind of word you don't hear every day. Notions. I used to watch old movies, and they used to mention notions. I remember the Marx Brothers movie, The Big Store, and they mention notions. They mention go to the notions department, and then I found out what millinery means. It means hat making. You make women's hats, so that's very interesting. Okay. And they also had someone called Miss Tempo. Maybe a lot of women remember that, or men, Junior Tempo, sportswear, decorative accessories, dinnerware, glassware, lamps, uh, coats, suits, lingerie, daytime, nighttime. They had the flower basket there, and then they had the boys department, which is the apparel for all ages. They had closet coordinates, home accessories, and they have for men the usual clothes, cosmetics, jewelry, underwear, shoes, shirts, whatever. Now we go to the first floor, and they had cosmetics, drugs, notions, prescriptions, uh, blouses, sweaters, and there was something called the First Place, and that was a boutique. And they also had sunglasses, jewelry, handbags, the flower market, the hat bar, umbrellas, anything. Candy, greeting cards. I remember the candy when I was little. That was nice. Also, they had had luggage, the wine shop, smoking accessories. I don't know if you find that today. Uh, tableware, uh, cameras. Also, when they had electronics, uh, and repair service, they had that. They had clocks, diamonds, jewelry, silver. Okay. Second floor it was the bath shop and linens. Also table linens. They have the bridal gift registry, fashion fabrics, Singer Sewing Center. Remember that. Lamps, china, dinnerware, glassware. They had the crystal room and the Steuben room. That's nice. Okay. Then they had a picture gallery, fine paintings. They had a place called the Orient Room, Artware, Collector's Room, Family Album Corner, and they had an event center, which I remember that. Okay, third floor they had gift wrapping, American Express Travel Services, which I used to work at in Rolling Meadows, the Juice Bowl, the Crystal Palace, lounging apparel, lingerie, daytime lingerie. They had the optical. I think they had the eye doctor there, or you buy glasses. They also had the paper bookshop. They sold books, collector coins, maps, uh, and the candle shop, the Williamsburg shop, the gazebo shop, and the Christmas court. That sounds nice. Okay, and they had creative stitchery, excuse me, uniforms and maternity shop on the third floor. Okay, now we go to the fourth floor. Young people's shoes, teen shoes, infants furniture, nursery accessories, kindergarten shop, tiny finery, toddler shop, the boy shop, the the prep shop, student shop, girls' accessories, children's lingerie, schools girls shop, teen scene, tween teen shop, and accessories. Okay, and they also had the toy center and pet accessories. Oh, that must be fun. Okay, now we go to the fifth floor, and it's young Chicago coats and suits, junior scene, French room millinery, young millinery, which were hats. They had the wig salon and the young Chicago sportswear. Also, they had Mrs. Dresses, which is spelled Misses apostrophe dresses after five dresses, young Chicago dresses, hairways. They had a beauty salon. They had Elizabeth Arden Boutique, a shoe salon, fashion classic shoes, young Chicago shoes, and Leisure Square, NTN Ingenieur Boutique, excuse my French, the shop for Papagallo, contemporary shoes, and the Wig Boutique. Okay. Also, they had town and casual dresses. Now we go to the sixth floor. They had a coat room, the suit room, all weather coats, pace setter, sweaters, skirts, sportswear, contempo, active sports, spectator sportswear, the country shop. And they also had the Sunningdale shop. I get a lot of people would remember that in the old days. They would remember the sections and floors where everything was featured and presented and displayed. Also, they had these, yeah, like I said, the Sunningdale shop, the first salon, the first storage, French Room Millinery Salon, and the Globetrotter. I'm not sure where that was. And they had Chicago Room, the Showcase, the Dress Room, the Sundown Shop, alterations and monogramming service desks. Very nice. Then they had the 28 Shop, the Zandra Rhodes Boutique, and gifts for her. Very nice. Okay, now we're at the seventh floor. They had the English Room, the veranda, gourmet foods, cold foods, frozen foods, candy, the Walnut Room. Still there. Beautiful place. The main kitchen, the wine shop, the Wedgwood Room, the Narcissus Room. I don't think it's there anymore. I doubt it. Party Bureau, the bakery, the Crystal Buffet, bowl and basket, and dry cleaning. And now we go to the eighth floor, and you have the decorating galleries, American antiques, occasional furniture, pool and patio furniture, modern furniture, and Crossroads Market. And you have dining room furniture, scientific sleep equipment, and upholstered furniture, trend house, and antique reproductions. And you had they also had bedroom furniture and the Pilgrim Shop. Very interesting. And now we go to the ninth floor. They had appliances there, the garden spot, kitchen furniture, the color bar, the tool chest, floor covering, gourmet gallery, lifestyle, housewares, curtains and draperies, decorative pillows, drapery hardware, bedspreads, upholstered fabrics, and home entertainment center, the music center. Okay, now we go to the 10th floor. They had adjustments, customer service, so you had to go up there. Central cashiers, credit office, personnel office, accounting, and information services. Okay. And next we have the 11th floor. It was a receiving and marking room, receiving office, and jewelry repair work room. Interesting. And the 12th floor, they had upholstered workroom, personal shopping, mail order service, accounts receivable, medical bureau, employee development center, visual communications, employee cafeteria, which is on the 12th floor. And 13th floor, not many things up there. Sign bureau, design division, bakery workroom, carpenter and workshop, and the candy workroom. And the 14th floor, they had construction and maintenance. And okay, so for men's stuff that was on for menswear or anything associated with men, it was on the first floor, second floor, and third floor. All floors really, up from 1 through 7. So that's interesting. Okay, phew, what a list. Now we'll talk about Wieboldt's. Thank goodness, Wieboldt's wasn't that much. So Wieboldt's was on 1 North State Street at the corner of Madison and State Street, which I love that store very much. It was also my mother's favorite store. She used to shop the one at Fort City on the southwest side. at the mall where we used to live, and Wieboldt opened there in 1960. Before that, it was Mandel Brothers. I will talk about that store on a later episode. So it has an interesting history about that. So I will read off the directory for Wiebolt's, and they don't have many things. So they in the basement they had the Wiebolt's Budget Store. First floor they had just like at Marshall Fields, cosmetics, suburbia shop, clothes for women, costume jewelry, gloves, handbags, hosiery, rainwear, notions, fine jewelry, and they had men's furnishings, men's sportswear, and the optical shop was on the first floor. At second floor, they had luggage, girls' wear, infants' wear, toddler shop. They had the nursery furniture, girls' accessories, Totswear, stationery, calculators, candies, books, and men's suits, slacks, sportswear, shoes, hats. Third floor, they had lingerie, robes, sleepwear, loungewear, bedding, towels, and linens. Also, bras, girdles, Dr. Scholl's shoes, fashion fabrics, art needlework, and that travel service they had there. Interesting. Fourth floor, they had the crystal room. They had dresses uh, for young ladies and blouses, tops, sportswear, excuse me, town and country shop, coats, fashion coats, maternity shop, and for junior sportswear, excuse me. Oh, they had lots and contemporary dresses and contemporary sportswear. Now, the fifth floor, they had the fashion shoes, the wiggery, junior shoes, bazaar hats, shoes for women, and the music center. And the sixth floor, they had draperies, rugs and carpeting, lamps, lighting centers, appliances like TV, stereos, sporting goods, summer furniture, books, health and beauty aids, and records. And the seventh floor, they had gifts, glassware, silverware, china, trim a tree, housewares, hardware, and major appliances. And the eighth floor, they didn't have much. They had furniture and bedding, like sleep shop and furniture. And the ninth floor was toys and the S&H Green Stamp Redemption Center. Oh, green stamps. I love that. I will talk about that green stamps in a future episode, go in more detail. They had a place called the Travertine Room. It's 5 restaurants, the Wabash Grill, excuse me, and the beauty salon. And the 10th floor, they had the Wieboldt Center. I'm not sure what that is. Okay. So that was fun. I hope it didn't bore you or because I was exhausted talking about that, but it was fun reading all that. And we miss places like that. We miss department stores. Some of you were around Macy's, of course. There's a store called Von Maur that is at Lombard at Yorktown Center, and now they opened recently at Orland Square Mall in Orland Park. I haven't been to that store yet, so I'll check it out. We'll see what happens. Okay, the next thing I would excuse me for coughing. I got something in my throat. I should clear my throat. Next thing we'll talk about is it was a restaurant that I posted on Van Chicagoland Stories on my Facebook page, and it was called Mr. G's Steakhouse. And a lot of people remember that restaurant where I used to live on the southwest side in the Ashburn neighborhood. And I never went to that place, and I found a picture of it on eBay. And it was located at 3534 West 79th Street. And the photo was taken in June 6, 1964. And when I moved in the neighborhood in 1974, I remember people mentioned this restaurant. And when I created the Ashburn group for my neighborhood, the moment I created it and then I invited people over or they joined, they remembered that steakhouse. They said it was a pretty good steakhouse. It was there for during the 60s and early 70s. But I asked my mother and I showed the picture. She did remember it. She remember seeing it. So I'm not sure when it closed. I'm sure it was a nice place. A lot of people went there after going to a ball game Cubs, Sox, Blackhawks, even the Chicago Bears, they went to that store to eat, and they said it was a wonderful place. So it's too bad it's gone. And there were wonderful restaurants around where I used to live, and there was pizza places. Two pizza places are still there: Vito and Nick's and Angie's, which are wonderful. They still serve good pizza. I love it. And I still go there once in a blue moon. I should go again. Okay, that'll be all for today. Forgive me for coughing. You know, my when I talk too much, my throat doesn't get clear enough, so I drink a lot of water. I'm glad you enjoyed this episode for the store directories for Marshall Fields and Wieboldt's department stores, and talking about Mr. G's Steakhouse. Like I said before, you can listen to my episodes on my YouTube channel, Vanish Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. You can also listen on my blog, Vanish Chicagoland blog, and also follow me. You can subscribe my podcast on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts, or Spotify, whatever podcast platforms. Also, you can follow me on my Facebook page, Vanish Chicagoland. Excuse me. I don't say that often. Facebook page, I post every day. So anyone can listen to anywhere with this. But thank you for joining me. I am Pete Costanis. This is episode 33, season 2. And hope to see you soon. Hopefully, I'll do another podcast tomorrow. We will see. So here is Ray Rayner saying bye bye now, bye bye for now, and bye bye for me too. Take it away, Ray Rayner.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.